Content is being sent to Facebook, so we should be good.
Okay, I believe we're live.
Yes.
And I don't hear a reverb, which is really
Being
good.
sent to Facebook, so we should be good. There is.
Okay, I believe we're live.
Yes.
And I don't hear a reverb, which is really good.
Sent to Facebook, so we should be good. There is.
Okay, I believe we're live.
Yes.
Interesting.
And I don't hear a reverb. Really good.
Interesting.
And I don't hear.
Severine, we're gonna go out and come back in, and we're gonna do this differently, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Third time charm.
Interesting. Severine, we're gonna go out and come back in, and we're I think what I'm gonna do is, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
It's definitely a Zoom to Facebook thing because we had Vani and I had this earlier and it took a while and then it finally resolved. But my remedy is going to be to just record and then immediately upload the segment.
Okay, because here it's sharing that is still sending it all to Facebook.
Right now
So
it
maybe
is?
it is. And I can't, there's no reverb coming through, so I think we may be good.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it?
Let's give it a shot.
Okay, well, if it says we're streaming, I'm not sure how that happened, but we're good. I'm happy to be here. How's that?
Me too. It's wonderful. And even though the technology is kind of thing up, it works. It works in the end.
Well, welcome, Severine, and welcome everyone to our segment of A Day of Light and Love that we do. I think we've been doing this. I think this is our 8th time that we've done
8th or
that.
9th? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, and you're one of the original alums. So I love the continuity of the connection and the calling, to come and share because there are people who will go through periods of feeling alone or loneliness, and we're here to hopefully infuse some light, some love, and some support maybe through something that the speakers say. It helps that person on their individual path. So, Severine, you are in Belgium. What time is it your time?
It's 3:09 in the afternoon on Christmas Day, 2024.
Wow, amazing, huh?
So I'm a little bit into your future.
You
That
are. I
time
was
wise.
going to say you're quite a bit into my future because I'm on Central Time, so it's 8 o'clock here in the morning. So, but I really want to hear what you have to offer people. I know that we talked about the title of your segment being Planting Seeds of Hope and Light. For anyone who doesn't know you, could you just give a little brief background so that they understand why it was so important for me to invite you to be a part of this because you are a treasure trove of experience, adventure, and wisdom.
Thank you. Yeah, especially the adventure part, I think is one of my main go-tos. So I'm Severine. I was born and raised in Belgium, here in the wonderful medieval city of Ghent. And when I was 24, I moved to Cancun, Mexico. Completely different setting, completely different country, different culture, different everything. And I was planning 6 months, and it ended up becoming 23 years. So basically, pretty much my entire adult life up now Cancun developed into personal growth. And I think that one of the main things that I learned being in Mexico is how to tap into self-love, how to love others, how to um, tap into the light source that we all are and into the joy. And I'm really, really grateful for all of the lessons that I've learned. I mean, life has not been all sugar-coated and easy. It's been quite a rough ride. However, as we were talking earlier, all of these adventures, all of these situations that I put myself in, that I chose to live through, have brought me so much knowledge and so many things for me to share now that I've come back to Belgium. I've been here for 2 years, and we're finally kind of settling in, my daughter and myself, into our new life, our new reality that I chose for us. And things are working out really wonderfully. And what I wanted to share today is that I've had the pleasure of working at the University of Applied Sciences, Artevelde, here in Ghent. And working with young people is bringing me new sparks of hope. It's bringing me so much joy to be able to pour into these young, fresh minds, these little seedlings of wisdom that I have been gathering over the years from all of the teachers that I've met and all of the wonderful mentors that I've had over the years. And now I get to be a mentor to them, and a mentor to other people that have chosen me to join them on their path. And it's such a fulfilling sensation of being able to gather everything. It's like a funnel of everything that I've been through and being able to squeeze out these little bits and pieces of awareness and plant those little seeds into the people that are surrounding me here.
Wow. Wow. So you're mentioning hope
Mhm.
and planting the seeds into these young people. What do you see right now as far as the need and
Mm. One of the main things that I feel, it's not necessarily something well, it is visible as well, but there's a need for connection. The young people that I work with, they are very vocal about it. They're very open about the need they have for connection. And the wonderful thing is that the youngsters that I work with, in the group of 50, I have about 16 nationalities. So it's really wonderful that it's such a diverse group of people. And one of the people that I've been working with, she shared a quote, and that just totally stuck with me. It's that diversity is a given, it's a fact, and the inclusion is an active choice for us
oh,
to make. And as I'm teaching on diversity and inclusion, that's one of the subjects that I teach at the university. It has become so clear that becoming aware about that diversity that we have as humanity, and in the end, the unison of it. It's mind-boggling that we're so diverse, we're so different, but we all long for the same belonging. We all long for that connection, and we all long for that spark of hope that there is positivity in the future, because there's so much negativity going on right now in the world. Young people feel that, and they feel it very strongly, and they're very much in that search of what can we do about it. And for me, it all starts with the awareness that even though that we're all very different, and within that diversity, it's not just about gender or about culture or about whether we're neurotypical, neurodiverse. It doesn't stop there. The diversity is so broad, and yet we're all human. And it's planting that little bit of hope that as humanity, we can do things, little things. It all starts and ends with us, right? We can do the little things with our loved ones, with people around us, with the people we get to work with within our small community. But those little ripple effects of positive energy, of positive mindset, of a change growth mindset will help us in the end become a better humanity, because I do believe strongly that there's more good people than bad people in the world. And there is more light than there is darkness. However, the darkness is very strong, but it allows us to see the light. And without the light, there's no shadow. Without the darkness, there's no sparks of hope in the distance. So I choose to see the good things in people. I choose to look for the joy in the small things, even though that this time of year for me is a rough one. I don't necessarily look forward to Christmas and the end of the year because um, still my husband's passing 3 years ago, and you can possibly understand that is still lingering and it's still there. Well, I so wish he was here. I so wish that other loved ones that have passed were here. It kind of brings it up, but again, I choose to see the good side of things, that I'm still here. I still get to experience joining my family for dinner. I still get to experience have fun times with my daughter. I still get to experience working with people and bringing all of that uh, knowledge that I've gathered and share that with them. I still get to do so many things, and that I'm super grateful for. So I do know that there is, for me, there is hope. For me, there is hope for a better humanity. And being able to work with young people gives me more hope because I can see it in them as we work together on their human skills, on their awareness. I see these clicks happen. And as that happens, it's my hopes that yes, they got it. And now it's up to them to work with that. It's now up to each and every one of these young people that I get to work with to do their thing with whatever I get to plant as little seeds. And it's beautiful to see, for example, the students that I worked with last year and I got to work with them again this year, there have been changes in their attitudes. There have been changes in their awareness, and they share that with me. And that makes it so much more worth the while of stepping into a classroom for 4 hours and work with them to put these little seedlings of hope into their mind, into their heart, so that they can roll with it and do whatever they choose with that for their future.
So choice, I'm hearing choice as you speak, that
Yes.
you choose to look for the light in
Mhm.
people, in situations, in the present moment. Presence obviously becomes very important
Mhm.
to be fully present. But I do see that there's a choice that you're talking about, that we have the capacity to choose in the moment to look for and see the good.
Absolutely.
What
And
are some, go ahead.
please.
I was going to say, what are some other practical applications that you bring to your students for the planting that you're talking about? Because planting it's an action verb, right?
It
And so,
is.
yeah, so there's something that we do in order for the garden to look a certain way.
It's sharing with them specifically that they do have a choice. And discuss with the group that, yes, but what if my choices are limited? And I said, yes, but think about this. And this is something that Chick Mormon taught us in the parent talk system. There's always more options than you believe you have. Yeah. And that the amazing, um, the amazing act of sparring with others brings so much to the table. I teach them together and have a brainstorming about things with friends. I teach them to, okay, if you feel you're stuck and you only have one or two options that you can see, how about speaking with other people around you with different backgrounds to spark the ideas and to see how many more options they can come up with? And the wonderful thing is, being a very diverse community, you have no idea how many fantastic things come forward. Things that we never would have thought of ourselves, but other people from other cultures, from other backgrounds, they say, oh, yeah, but in my country, we kind of do things this way. Oh, I never thought about that. Yeah, but in my family, we do things the other way. And you come up with a whole array of different options, different solutions, different opportunities. Um, and having that mindset of allowing yourself to widen up, to open up, to broaden your scope is mind-boggling, because the kids go, oh, so I do have more options. Of course you do. And it's up to you to kind of weigh in and see which one of these options is the best choice for you. The best choice for me is not necessarily the best choice for someone else. Yeah, and as a mom, I'm still learning that the best choice for me is not necessarily the best choice for my child. They
Yes.
may have a different idea about things and choose things differently, such as I have chosen to live my life very differently than what my family has chosen to do. And I'm coming to terms with that. It's like, okay, yeah, I've chosen so many different things. I have chosen this path for myself because that is the wisdom I needed. Those are the teachings that I personally needed. So planting that with my students, I think is one of the major breakthroughs for them, because they have this idea that they're very limited. And in
Yes.
the end, as human beings, we're limitless. We
Yeah.
have so many different options, but we choose not to see them. Once we choose to broaden our view and to open up the scope of things, anything is possible. And
Yeah,
that's
I
where
think
for
the recognition, I think anyone, like whatever you grow up in, that on some level you can look at other people and know that their situation is somewhat different than yours, but at the same time, your lens reflects your programming, your nurturing, your temperament comes through your lens. And at some point in, I think, in adulthood, you realize that yours is different than mine for good reason, right? And through experience, especially. And then I think there's even a higher level of realization, which is the beauty within that, which is what you're talking about. It's the beauty within it. It's that we're all part of humanity. Her lens, your lens, my lens. We're all seeing more dominantly different aspects than someone else is seeing. And so our journey of becoming reflects experiences that
Mhm.
hone the next level of who we are. And I think when we realize that, that's the diversity that is the beauty of diversity, is that we're invited to, once we can look at something and realize it's okay that that person has a different perspective, has a different solution, has a different desire, right? That isn't native maybe to me or to you. I think that's all of a sudden, I feel for me, there was the birth of wonderment,
Mm. Yeah.
kind of marveling at the construct of this whole collective experience that we're participating in.
Mhm. Yeah. I really love that you speak about the lens that we see through. Yeah. And I add on for my students, I add on, and the backpack that we carry, because they're connected.
Yeah,
My glasses and my backpack are so connected. And
that's
one
good,
of the things
Severine.
within communication, understanding the backpack we all carry, it's an invisible backpack filled with experiences, filled with situations that we've been through, filled with all those things that we've parked. from our past. And as we were talking earlier, one of the amazing things is that I have come to realize that I've been parking so many things from my past, and I look behind me at the parking like, hmm, that's a nice parking lot. I have gathered so many wonderful experiences that I have parked there, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the wonderful, all of them together, but they form that backpack that I carry. And I do choose to leave some things in the parking lot and not carry them around with me every single day because it's too heavy. But the wonderful thing is that I can go back and pick whatever I have parked in that wonderful parking lot, even if it's the darkest experiences ever. When I'm working, I can go and pick that up and say, hey,
Mm,
listen, this is a piece of my backpack that I want to share with you today. And I'm going to tap into that darkness, and I'm going to tap into that ugly situation, or I'm going to tap into that painful moment to share what I learned from that piece of parked past and share that with the people around me. And I think that's such a wonderful teaching of parking stuff, parking your past, but being able to look back on that parking lot and pick whichever beautiful car that we've parked there and bring it with us just for a moment and then put it back where it belongs in the parking lot.
mm,
This is something that has helped me walk around a lot lighter, but knowing that I have access to that, knowing that I have been able to separate the emotion from whatever happened in the past,
that's good.
kind of separate that, but still go back and
Yeah.
grab whatever I need from wisdom I've learned. But it's a lighter backpack. I walk around, just carry the keys to whatever's in the parking lot and
Oh,
not
that's
everything.
awesome. What a great analogy. That really is. Immediately, I got this image of like classic cars, like there's a Mustang parked there and a Corvette, maybe a
Beautiful muscle
Maserati,
cars.
right? But that parking lot, I've not never heard that before, and I did learn about parking the past. Obviously, that was a term I learned along the way. What I love about it is, I think, well, I've done a lot of forgiveness work myself, and then I've worked with people working on forgiveness. And one of the things that I think one of the beautiful jewels of forgiveness is the wisdom of the experience, and that's the parking lot in many ways. That's the best part of it. That's the classic
Yeah.
car collection part of the parking
Yes.
lot. But
What
it's
a
true.
wonderful collection of cars we have, right?
Absolutely. But I mean, it is true that just because you park it doesn't mean that it's not still a part of you. But you spoke it so well when you said separating the emotional connection to what occurred from just the experience of itself. And that, I think, that's what parking is, the parking of the past. Love the
Mhm.
backpack. Love the lens with the backpack. I love that. And I do think that at any point that someone feels like that backpack is really heavy, that's a time to reach out to
Yeah.
get some guidance or some mentoring or some coaching to alleviate the weight of that. It doesn't make the backpack go away, but we do
No.
treat it differently, don't we? And we carry it in a different way.
Yeah. And it's like I said, I look at it as carrying the keys to
The
that
key.
parking lot with me. And a bunch of keys is way lighter. I mean, it
So
can be a big
good.
bunch of keys, but they're way lighter than carrying all of those experiences because they weigh us down. They weigh us down, and they will put a clouded judgment. They cause a clouded judgment because we look through a clouded lens. We look through a dark, very dark sunglasses that it needs to be really, really bright outside for you to be able to see perfectly through those dark lenses. And if we are in a dark situation through dark lenses, all we see is darkness. And as you lighten up the load, you get cleaner glasses on, you get a clearer perspective when that backpack is not that heavy. And I think that's one of the most important things that I've learned over the years is to park stuff and just leave them in the parking lot and bring the keys along. That's it's
Oh, it's so good,
helping me to move
Severine.
forward with more joy. It helps to move forward with more joy and to see the good in people, the good in the situations. Every dark situation that I've been through has brought me something good. Not in the moment, not in the moment, obviously, but afterwards. And
Yeah.
now that I know if I go through something difficult, if I have challenges that I feel that are very heavy, just knowing that there is something for me to learn here. There is a message within this situation. I will become stronger because of this. I will become wiser because of this, and this will help me help others in the future already makes it more acceptable to move through. And it gives me the power and the strength and the drive
Yes.
that I need to go, okay, I'll take this head
Yeah.
first, move through this. And then we'll see afterwards, I'll reflect and I will see whatever the message is. I don't need to know right now, but I know that there is light at the end of this dark tunnel always. And
Wow,
also being
that's so good.
surrounded by the right people.
I'm sorry, I interrupt you. You said
Yeah,
being surrounded by the right people.
yeah, being surrounded by the right people when you are going through dark times is
Yeah.
key. Having a good friend you can call, having your family if they are there to support you, having a mentor, having a coach, or if needed, a therapist that can just listen to you. And because one of the other things that I've learned with Chick Mormon is if you can speak it, you can change it. So
Mm.
whenever you can actually verbalize what is that is going on, if you can name it, you can tame it, or if you name it you can change it. There's a lot of power within our words and especially within our thoughts. So if those thoughts you can bring them out and you can put them into words with someone else who can help you change that perspective, open up the scope and see the additional options that you have to move through this, you're already halfway there.
That's a good, really good stuff. This will be one to review. There was a lot of nuggets in there that you shared, really, truly. I think just uh, I was going to say when you were talking about when a challenging situation comes up or a difficult situation comes up, um, because you choose to carry the keys, you've done the work, so to speak. You recognize, oh, this is more work. Oh, and it actually can take on more the spirit of adventure. What is there to find here? What am I, you know what I'm saying? That's when I feel like you hit the zone of wisdom. You've lived enough experiences, come through them, gleaned, and then you go, oh, opportunity. Oh, another opportunity. Oh, another opportunity. And
All opportunity.
yeah, and that energy, I think, transmutes or transforms whatever it is much quicker. Would you find that to be true?
Yes, absolutely. And I think that's the beauty of is that you move through things faster because of the backpack, because of the parking lot, because everything that we've been there, done that. I know what to do. And when you're young, I mean, you don't have that kind
No,
of load of cars in your you don't know what car to choose because you haven't driven them. So it comes with the experience, and that's the beauty of having the privilege of being a mentor to people. Because I always tell my mentees, you know what, come and pick my brain on things. I've got a big backpack, a good parking lot of stuff that may be useful to you. So, I've had my mentors, and I do still have a mentor that I can go to if needed. And that's the beauty of a mentor. You can use their parking lot to see if you can get kind of not necessarily a shortcut, but you can get some intel on how to do things. And I think
Yeah.
that's such a full stage that I have grown into of being able to share my parking lot with people that come to me for help. And that's just, it's so rewarding to see that I go, oh, okay, it's not that hard. It can be done. Yes, it can be done. So it's beautiful. So if anyone is struggling, do reach out to others. Reach out to people that have some experience in their backpack that may serve you to open up your perspective and move through things.
Yes, I always tell people to choose people with the fruit on the tree that you would like to
Mm.
have growing on your tree. Because I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of people that might have experiences and might, but if they don't have the fruit growing, I'm not sure I want the input.
Obviously, yeah, you want to choose wisely who you are.
Yeah,
Advice.
yeah.
That's the one.
And I
Choose the
do
tree
think in
that
the
carries
in
the fruit
the
that you want.
yeah, in the desire for that, I feel like it's the knock and the door will be open unto you, scripture from the Bible, where seek and you will find, you know,
Yeah.
knock and the door will be open unto you. So you may not necessarily see someone in your vicinity who you feel like could be that beacon of light, of hope, of uh, keys. However, in the recognition that that is what you're looking for, the thing itself will appear.
Yes. It's like they say when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And that's so true. It's so true.
It is
Uh,
so true.
and when you open up to that energy, when you open up to that, it happens
Yes,
all of the time. It makes me laugh because sometimes I go, okay, I will actually this exercise and ask, I need information specifically on this, 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 and this. I will
yes,
find the person that can teach me. And time again, it happens. Time and
yeah,
time again, I meet the perfect strangers that talk to on the street, and for some reason we end up having a cup of coffee, and the information that I was looking for is sitting right in front of me. And it's like,
yes,
oh Lord, how do I keep doing this? It's just you're in tune with your real needs.
yes,
Dare to ask. Dare
yes.
to ask. And the
You,
teachers, they do.
you referenced Chick Mormon before we end here because I know that we need to. Um, that I'm trying to think of the name. Actually, his book is right here. Talk sense to yourself. Can you see that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, The
Yes.
Language of Personal Power by Chick Mormon. I'm reading that in a book group. And so
Uh,
I'm rereading it. And some of what you're saying about speaking, we don't realize the power that we have just by speaking, having being intentional with our words, channeling our energy through our words. We're doing it anyways. So being aware, increasing our awareness, and being intentional, because we're much more magical beings than we necessarily give ourselves credit for.
Absolutely. Oh, somewhere, somehow, we've all been to Hogwarts.
That's awesome. We're going to end with that. That's so good. Oh my goodness. Severine, I just have to say, uh, you're, uh, you're a breath of fresh air. I have to say, the nuggets, the lens with the backpack. My dogs are all excited now. They're like all of a sudden, I don't know why, but when you said Hogwarts, they came alive. They're like all
That's the
excited
magic.
now. But I honestly, the keys, the parking lot, and the keys, carrying the keys, not having to carry the weight of the whole vehicle. You can access the past, you can access the wisdom from the past. You don't have to
Yes.
carry the weight of the past. That's a
No.
beautiful
Oh, yeah.
message. So thank you for that. And I
Thank
hope
you
that
for
the rest
having
of
me.
your Christmas is wonderful. I'm sure it will
It
be.
will, it will be. We're going for dinner with my dad and the rest of the family. So it's another family gathering, which is a really heartwarming thing to do. So
One of the blessings, I think, planting
thank you.
planting those seeds of light and looking for those. I think that families grow intentionally. Well, I
They
should
do.
say they grow best intentionally. They're going to grow either way, but we can get a lot of weeds in those gardens if we're not intentional. And I know that one of the things about you, Severine, is you're very intentional. I've always noticed that about you. And that's a gift. So I'm going to stop the live stream now. Thank you so much for being a part of this and sharing your wisdom because you certainly have a lot of it.